stepping at the very sharpest stones with these shoes, I thought that I would feel like much more pain, like a sharper pain. And I don't think they're made for hiking, certainly not. If you wear more natural shoes, you naturally strengthen the feet and ankles. And I think your ankles have the capacity to do that. I think we've been hiking here at least for 2 times already, but now it's been a long while because there was the summertime in Dubai and it's not a very good time to go out hiking because you will be fried, you know, especially in the mountains, like completely burned. So now it's winter, very comfortable, maybe a little bit over 20 degrees here, like absolutely perfect weather to explore and hike and spend time outdoors. So we are back at the black track. So this is where we begin. We're gonna be following these black tracks or black markings, the hiking trail. Kunnon luun kappale. Like, I don't know what kind of vertebrate this is. Maybe from a goat or something. I'm a little bit surprised. The first race, I think, is always the most difficult because your body hasn't yet like adapted. Every time after you've hiked a little bit, then everything adjusts, breathing is better, and it doesn't feel nearly as hard. It's always just the beginning, even when you do like a jogging.
And this is very steep.
Yeah, this is very steep, so you're gonna feel a bit of out of breath. But I mean, it's fantastic, you know, you feel almost every single muscle, your calves, glutes, quads, even hamstrings. The terrain on this trail can be like super uneven. At times it is quite like nice, just stable walking, but a lot of times it's very sharp rocks, sliding rocks, big drops, holes on the path, and I think that's really something that challenges your balance and agility as well. And it makes, I think, walking in general super entertaining. This is why I always loved to, even as a kid, to walk like in the forest, because you have roots and rocks, stones. A lot of like uneven terrain makes walking and even running super interesting and entertaining, I would say. Like, you know, if you feel bored just walking on an asphalt or on a treadmill, if you have any type of nature near you, I highly suggest to try and just move there.
Yeah, it's very sharp rocks, and you know, I'm using like regular sneakers. Like normally I use barefoot, but for me it's like too sharp. Like after 20 minutes it will be like very numb, like feet. But Eero, he has very hard, you know, bottoms of feet, so he's using barefoot shoes even when hiking in a like terrain like this.
Yeah, so I mean, it's hard to believe how thin these are, but like Samuli said, you can feel. So you will feel the stones under your feet for sure. You don't like even stepping at the very sharpest stones with these shoes. I thought that I would feel like much more pain, like a sharper pain, but it actually doesn't come through. So these shoes are very good, and I don't think they're made for hiking, certainly not. You know, and I know that they will be a bit more worn out because the sharp stone will tear into the fabric sometimes, and there's also sharp plants here with like really long spikes. Maybe not made for hiking specifically, but I just love the feeling that they give to the feet, the natural movability.
Yeah, one point about the shoes, actually, I think it's much easier to sprain your ankle with like sneakers or even like the hiking shoes. Because it's so easy, you know, the bottom is very strong, so it's very easy to twist the ankle actually, compared to barefoot shoes. Because with the barefoot shoes, it's always like a very natural like alignment when it hits the ground.
Yeah, that's interesting because I mean the logic is that when you have the long what is this called when you have a long
Long boots.
Long boots, yeah, like the long part on the shin, so it would actually stabilize it, and I suppose it does that. But yeah, definitely if you wear more natural shoes, you naturally strengthen the feet and ankles, and I think your ankles have the capacity to do that. So if you're always wearing this type of very supportive, ankle supportive feet, you maybe never develop the muscles to the great extent. So, you know, start slowly, go slow, don't take any big jumps, don't run around immediately if you are worried. But I think it's unparalleled feeling when you have the natural movability in your ankle and even toes and feet.
Dangerous.
Yeah. It's weird because when you walk here and there's so much like height difference, and then there's basically the landscape is in different distance from you. I feel like the eyes have to constantly like process so much information like in a way that I'm not used to in a normal day. So I feel a little bit dizzy in certain spots. Like it's total body adaptation like for all senses when you come to do some hiking in this type of terrain.
This is steep.
Yeah, water tastes pretty good after that climb. Like we reached this sort of checkpoint. This trail is basically towards or until this part. You know, in the beginning you have a very steep rise, but then it's more not so steep and you're going like side to side, and then just suddenly you go like nearly just vertical up until you reach this point. It's probably the toughest part of the trip here. You know, just coming here is already really good trip. So we're gonna see if we go maybe a little bit further from here, but might even just call it a day here, take a little break and start heading down. Now we've been outside already quite a while. We also were like filming for like a couple of hours, and we're not planning to make a really long trip here. But I mean, when you're hiking yourself, you know, just it's not really about the time, it's about the excitement, because a lot of times like I forget the time and then you just want to go the trail, you know, you want to just see what is beyond the next hill or the corner. You just want to explore everything. But you know, that is I think the best way. But you know, if otherwise you're short on time, you know, 1 hour is already amazing in this type of terrain. It is not the same like walking, you know, just on a treadmill or something, because this is super challenging. And like about that topic, you know, coming up, I feel, you know, it works the calves and the glutes like mostly, you know, because you're constantly like extending and the position is like so, like a kind of glute kickback, you know, motion. And then of course the calves are, I'm almost always on the ball of the feet. So those are the muscles that I feel most heavily worked. But going back down, it's a different type of workout. So you would think, you know, yes, walking down is easier, but it also works your muscles in a different manner. So especially I think the quadriceps gets emphasized there. So I can feel those muscles a bit more because, you know, even if I come down from here, right? Like it's like this way. So now the pressure is all on that quadricep, on this knee joint. Like when I step down and every time you need to deaccelerate or like stop the motion so you don't completely collapse, it's the quadriceps, right? So climbing up, like I explained, it's this motion, it's the hip motion. Here is the quads that do bulk of the work. Like of course, all muscles are engaged, but it's the emphasis. So walking up, walking down, you get different type of workout for your legs, despite the walking down being usually significantly easier than, you know, going up a steep hill.
So this is the danger with the sneakers compared to barefoot, like because the sole is very like
high.
It's high and it's very stiff, so you can easily do like this and then it skips.
So because the, you know, thicker sole, it means there's longer lever here. So on it will pivot over a long lever and there's more force to bend the ankle. Whereas
whereas with the barefoot you can even do like this, like almost like sideways, and it will be comfortable if the ankle is strong.
Yeah, it's something you wouldn't expect, but now that you said that's true. Like you would think that barefoot would be like most dangerous or something. I feel like it's the best, you know, and
it's the
actually,
least dangerous.
Yeah,
if the ankle is strong, but if the sole is high, and then it's like very easy to like keep like this, and then
much more movement.
break the ankle. Yep.
All right, we're now heading back down. See you guys there. Hey guys, we made it back. We're already at the car. My bottom of the feet definitely, like even after the first time I hiked here, you know, afterwards feeling like you gotten this deep tissue massage. So like I said, you know, I like the barefoot shoes and they feel good, but it does tend to accumulate like the different like stones that you get into the bottom of the feet all the time. I prefer them, but I would say that if you want to try it, just be careful, and if you don't know how it feels, it's good to maybe have spare parts of different shoes, because like for example Samuli said his bottom of the feet are more sensitive and people have different feeling in their feet. Other than that, you know, something that I started to think about the descending and then ascending, what I didn't mention is that actually when we are going up, it's mostly concentric contraction. So this means that your muscles are shortening as they're contracting, and when you are going down, it is actually eccentric contraction, muscles lengthening while they are contracting. So this is also a big difference in just going up or going down and how it develops the muscles.
And about the hiking, I had my timer on in my watch, so we hiked like 1 hour and 46 minutes, but we had some like a break at top, so maybe we hiked like 1 hour and 30 minutes. And I checked like in 1 hour and 30 minutes you already burn like 700 calories, depending on your body type and the difficulty of the trail, but it's already like easily over 500 or 600 calories. And imagine if you hike, let's say 2 hours, it's easily like 1000 calories. It's like one whole pizza. So if you want to burn fat and burn some calories in a very like easy way, like you don't, like it's very like hiking is a very convenient way to just burn calories and burn your body fat as well as a result.
Yeah, I suppose maybe it's like one method where you don't feel like you're burning, but you are, because it's, you know, just walking essentially. But if the terrain is like here, very demanding, oh man, it's so good, and it's so good for the muscles. I think I've mentioned this previously as well, like the ankles, you know, the constant stabilization that's happening, you know, the development you get for the gastrocnemius, for the soleus, like all these little muscles, your hip, how it's moving. I'm just like feeling my body, you know, while walking there, and it feels amazing. So I think it's like one of the like ultimate ways to train your body, but it's not the most convenient in the sense that not everyone can hike, but at least as an encouragement, you know.
Yeah, I would say like mountain hiking is one of the best leg workouts you can do, like if you're an athlete or regular person. I think it's like, so a lot of people, they do very one-dimensional training, so like squats and deadlifts up and down, and I would actually say mountain hiking develops the legs in a much better fashion.
Yeah, incredibly versatile. Like you get to cover almost nearly every single function of your feet and leg there.
Yeah, and it's super tough. Like in the moment it's not super tough, except in the beginning, but like afterward, like my legs are spaghetti. Like it's like my hips and legs are so soft. It's like I burned all of my muscles.
Yeah, it's not a single like repetition, but it's, you know, when you're walking like this, it's thousands and thousands of steps that come. So that is great. I mean, our legs are made to endure, and I think this type of endurance is like embedded in us. You know, this is how our even ancestors, I believe hunter-gatherers, were just walking in different type of terrains. That was one of the main movement ways that they developed their bodies. So, and like I already mentioned, it's super fun, entertaining, especially if you have this kind of nice scenery. So I guess that's about it for this trip. Stay strong.